Hey, how's everybody doing? If you're here, you are probably wondering about the Social Warfare plugin. Social Warfare is a plugin for WordPress. It's a social sharing plugin. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through and actually show you how the plugin works, how it looks on the front end, how it works on the back end, the options that you have available to you, and why it is probably the plugin you have been looking for when it comes to adding a social sharing option to your website. So let's get right into it. First and foremost, the Social Warfare plugin website is warfareplugins.com. You can click my affiliate link in the description below. I would very much appreciate that if you decide to check it out and purchase it. So you can go to warfareplugins.com, and they've got a great sales page, and they talk to you about the plugin, but what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to show you how it works. So this is my website right here. And this is a post that's been shared 122 times. And that's one of the things that I love about Social Warfare is it has these share counts. And we know that share counts give authority. They basically tell people who come to your website, hey, this is good content. And as a result of more share counts, more people will share the content. So it's kind of like that restaurant that has a whole bunch of people out in front, like an hour-long line versus the one that has no wait whatsoever. Which one has better food? That's kind of what's happening here. Now, one of the cool things about the share counts is in Social Warfare, you can have it only display share counts once it reaches a certain number. So only being shared once doesn't really give a whole bunch of authority. So you would go ahead and say, Social Warfare, only show share counts once it's been shared 10 times. Then, on that 10th time it's shared, those share counts pop up, and now it starts displaying authority. So if there's only one share count, then it might, and that shows up, it might say, well, no one's really sharing this, so I'm not going to share it either. But once that 10 shows up, 11, 12, whatever you set it as, then it's going to look like, oh man, more people are sharing this. So this is my website. Again, these are the buttons I've chosen: Facebook, Twitter, email, Pocket, and Buffer. The great thing though is Social Warfare gives you a whole slew of options. And so if we go into the WordPress backend, once you've installed the plugin, you have the Social Warfare option right here. When you bring that up, the first page that you're going to see is the display page. And right here, right off the bat, is the core of Social Warfare. It is the sharing options. And adding to your sharing options is as easy as dragging and dropping. Once you click Save Changes, you can go back to the page, click refresh, and now you're going to see the new button show up. And you can see that one's even been shared once. So now it shows 123 shares. So adding the different buttons to share is really, really easy. Now, I keep mine pretty low because one of the things, if you add all of them, Social Warfare actually starts you off with just a few because you really don't want to have that many sharing options. This is really a place for you to choose which ones are most relevant. You can have the button ordering done manually, or you can sort it dynamically by most shares. So the one with the most shares will appear first. Going down is the share counts, what we already talked about. Use toggles to determine how to display your social proof. Button counts, on. So I want to see the individual button counts. Right here, total counts on. So not only does it show these counts right here, but it also shows the total counts over here. That's really a great feature, being able to choose between both. And here's that minimum share. So I have mine set to 5. So if it's been shared 4 times, nobody sees the total counts. Once it's been shared that 5th time, total counts pop up. So that is Social Warfare, the sharing buttons. Now the next option on the display page is the Twitter cards. So what is a Twitter card? Twitter card is the equivalent of what you see on Facebook when a link is shared. So on Facebook, when a link is shared, it shows a thumbnail with a thumbnail of the post, preview image, along with a title and a description. Well, on Twitter, let's go ahead and go to my Twitter page. So right here on my Twitter profile, you can see what a Twitter card looks like. It's just like what you would see on Facebook. Now, it'll look a little bit different on mobile, obviously, but this is essentially what it is. It is the image for that particular post, a title, and a description. And when you have Twitter cards turned on in Social Warfare actually, let's get back to that. Social Warfare actually generates this for you. Now, let me show you how great this is compared to what the process would ordinarily be. If I do a search for activate Twitter cards. Twitter has content on how you can do Twitter cards, and this is what it looks like. You immediately have to go through and start figuring out how you got to go through. Okay, summary card. And you got to do the code and you enter in the information, and it's a hassle. I did this. It was a hassle. The second that I installed Social Warfare and activated the Twitter cards, I didn't have to do that anymore. So it's absolutely fantastic feature. I love it. I'll show you more in a few minutes on how you actually designate what image you want to be shared. Position buttons. So on a post page, you can do different positions. So right here, obviously, both above and below the content. So now if you look at my particular post, you've got it above the content. And if you scroll, now it's below the content. So you could go in and you could configure this to have it just above the content, just below the content, or use the Social Warfare shortcode to place it somewhere within the post. This is great on pages if you want to do that. This is great on special pages. So if you have a particular landing page that you're using for an opt-in and you want to do social sharing buttons, it's a really good option to have. But as you can see, for posts, I use both above and below the content. You can set it up for pretty much any type of page type on your website, and as you install more plugins, you'll get more page types, and they give you the option to turn that off so it doesn't start showing up in weird places. This is the pin it button, which if you want to make your images pinnable more easily, you would turn this on, and when they hover over them, they get this giant pin it button. I turned that off because it was pretty confusing on my website, and my website isn't really a big Pinterest. You've got YUMLY terms right here, and that's pretty much your display options. So before I move on to style, social identity, and advanced, I want to go into a post, and I want to show you exactly how Social Warfare works on the post level. So we're going to go to this one that I recently created. 6 must-have essentials for creating an amazing video interview. And I've got all my normal content here. I've got all the different photos, different clips, everything. So we're scrolling down. And when we get down to the bottom of the website, you can see the Social Warfare custom options. So right here, you're able to load up the image that you want. So let me turn off this image. This is what you would see. You click Add Media, you upload whatever photo you want to have, you click that photo, you select, and now it inserts it. You can do your own title. So even if your title up here, 6 must-have essentials for creating amazing video interviews, you want it to appear differently on social media, maybe because you know where it's going or you know what your fans are going to be most likely to click on, you would just paste it in here. And then you can give it its own unique social media description. So the really cool thing about this is what I just said. You can customize the content to show up on social media. So while it might look one way on your website, which is the case with most WordPress websites, whatever your excerpt is and whatever your post title is, that's what's going to traditionally show up on Facebook. While that's typically what happens, this actually takes care of it for you on the social media side. Something else that I want to point out is an issue that if you've tried to share things to Facebook, you've run into it multiple times. Facebook doesn't pull in the right image, or it pulls in no image at all. It's really frustrating because you feel like you waste a whole bunch of time trying to get Facebook to display something that should just display. So what's great about Social Warfare is when you make a new post, it automatically sends the information to your website that Facebook is going to look for. And there's a really cool tool that, just to make sure that Social Warfare is working properly, I copy my URL, and if you just do a search for Facebook debugger and you paste in your URL in the sharing debugger, click debug, it will pull in the image. Now, if you just publish and you haven't posted it to Facebook and nobody's posted it to Facebook, it's going to show no picture at all because Facebook has never, what they call, scraped that information. So what you would do is you would click scrape again, and the second time you click it, you're going to see this. What's really cool is it shows you how many times it's been liked, how many times it's been shared, so on and so forth. So that's a really great thing that Social Warfare does, is it eliminates that problematic, it's not pulling in the right image issue that so many of us had. So continuing on, you can go back through and you can actually do a custom tweet. So when somebody clicks the Twitter icon, so let me find this on my website. We'll go to the actual post here. Let's click on this post. So you can see this one's been shared 9 times already. Right here, when somebody clicks the tweet button, it's going to bring up a tweet box that has the tweet exactly as I've customized it. So a very comprehensive post on how to create stunning video interviews. If you look right here, a very comprehensive post on how to create video interview recordings that look absolutely stunning. There you go. It was the same thing. I misread it. Something else that I want to point out is Social Warfare has something built in called click to tweet. So click to tweet is not their software, but they've integrated it. And so at any point in time in your post, you can do this little click to tweet by Social Warfare and create a little tweetable link that looks a lot like this right here. It's a click to tweet. And so when somebody clicks that, then it loads up that particular tweet and they can click tweet and send it out. It's a very, very powerful tool to have built right in. It makes it convenient, makes it easy, and quite honestly, it's very, very low-hanging fruit when it comes to getting your content to go further on social. So I love that about Social Warfare. Now, when it comes to this tweet, click to tweet option, that's where we get into the next set of options in Social Warfare. The styles panel. So notice right now how these individual buttons look, and notice how this individual click to tweet looks. When you go into the styles, all of a sudden you have a whole new set of configurations. You've got flat and fresh, which is what I'm using. You can change it to a leaf in the wind and it changes the configuration. You can change it to shift, pills, 3D, so it's got a little third dimension bar down there, like a little bit of a shadow, and connected. So I leave it on flat and fresh. If you want the button sizes to only take up 70%, you can make them smaller there. You can make them huge and do 140%. You've got a bunch of different configurations. I leave it at 100%. You can dictate the color, so you can have it be full color, which is what I have. You can have it be light gray, medium gray. When you hover, it illuminates to color, dark gray. They give you a whole bunch. Well, right here, you get color outlines, custom colors, and custom color outlines. So rather than going through and trying to show you right here, right now, what that looks like, I'm just going to show, let me get this back to full color. There we go. Oh, full color. I'm going to show you what I've done on a few of my client websites. So first and foremost, I've done the brand outline right here. And so when they're dormant, when nobody hovers over them, it just shows the outline. But when they hover over, it turns into that color and matches their brand. Here's another example where it's got the brand blue, but instead of filling in the color when I hover over, it stays at the actual outline. So there's all sorts of different configurations that you can have when it comes to the way your buttons look. This is the way I have mine look. Play around with it and decide what you like the best. Down here, you can have customization on where the total counts are displayed and how they're displayed. If you want to do decimal places, 1 or 2 or 0, it comes into play when you talk about getting shares in the thousands. Decimal separator, if you want it to be a period or a comma. And then the alignment, whether you want it to be to the right or to the left of the buttons. Floating sharing buttons, which this is the floating sharing button down here, so it floats to the bottom. You can also do float to the left or float to the right. That's your choice. If you scroll down, this is where the click to tweet style comes in. So I use the click to tweet style your own, and as you can see on my website right here, it just pulls in the style from my website. Well, you can use that, or you can use that and have it, pull in your own CSS, or you can use one of their pre-done. So this is the default, send her my love, but they've got several others. You can scroll through, decide if you like one over another, and then save that particular one. I liked the way that the create your own looked in my website, so that's the one that I did. So that is the styles section. When it comes to the social identity, you can set site-wide defaults for your social identity. So right here, when you put in your Twitter username, That's what happened. That's what comes up when someone goes to tweet it. So if you click the tweet button right here, you'll see via Dave Shrine. So it adds in that social profile right there. You can do your Facebook page URL, your Facebook app ID, and then there's the advanced section. So the frame buster is really cool. A lot of things have been coming out like Sniply, and what Sniply does is it allows somebody to come to my website, look at my content and think, wow, this is really good stuff. My audience is really going to like this, but I don't want other people to be going to Dave. I want them to be coming to me. So rather than just straight up sharing my website, they'll copy the URL. They'll go to Sniply, do a search for it here, Sniply. They'll create an account. So I think I have one. Let me log in. They'll place the URL, they'll say create snip, and here's what happens. This will be my content back here. See? But then a little box will show up at the bottom, and it will bring authority to them. So if we click snip, we'll copy this. Let me open up a Firefox browser, and I'll show you what happens here. See? It goes to my website, but because I have that frame buster, it does not show up. You saw it there for a second. Let's do it one more time. Look, it's even crushed it now. So basically what happens is it gives you the authority that comes along with it, and it gets rid of these things. So that's what a frame buster is. It has bit.ly short linking, and I have that turned off because bit.ly creates automatic short links for you if you have this turned on, and I only have so many branded ones, so I've turned that off, but you can turn that on if you want. And this right here is analytics tracking. Now, why would you want analytics tracking? Well, if you're tracking things like purchases and e-commerce, in your analytics, Google Analytics, it will actually show you who's coming to your website from a social warfare share. So I'll show you what that looks like here. So you have a Google Analytics account. Other analytic accounts can use UTM data as well, which is what that's called. But on my website, I use Google Analytics. And if you go to acquisition, so how they're coming to your website, campaigns, and you'll see that there's, if I go to all campaigns, you'll see there's a campaign, source, and medium. If we look back at social warfare, here's the medium, and here's the campaign. So what I want to do is I want to look and I want to see if anybody's coming from social warfare. And we can see right here, 14 visits have come to my website. 2 of those visits have been from brand new users. On average, when somebody comes to my website using a social warfare link, a link that's been shared, they visit 2.43 pages. They spend 2 minutes and 12 seconds on my website. And if I had e-commerce set up, this would show you how much money it would generate. Really powerful stuff. And they allow you to customize what this says so that you have a better idea. So all of my social media links, whether it's from Buffer, whether I post it directly to Twitter, or whether it's social warfare, uses the social medium. This campaign is unique to social warfare. So if this was Buffer, it would say Buffer right there. Share recovery is if you have links set up to one particular type of URL, you update your site and you change the URL structure. This will allow you to recover those links. And then there's some advanced caching as well, which we won't get into. Overall, this is how social warfare works. This is what you'll encounter. Hopefully, you'll agree with me that it's incredibly easy, it's straightforward, incredibly intuitive, and you don't have to be a code genius to make social warfare work for you. I absolutely love it. I advocate for it. I tried a bunch of different social sharing plugins, and once I found social warfare, I stopped looking because it truly is the one social sharing plugin that you'll need. You won't need anything else if you use social warfare. If you go to their website, you can learn more about them. You can learn more about why they do what they do. And I believe they have somewhere on their website, they show people who are using it. Yeah, right here. And a lot of really big influencers use social warfare. A lot of people who I would actually consider higher influencer status than these people right here. I'm pretty sure Kim Garst uses social warfare, and a lot of other websites I've seen do social warfare for their social sharing plugin. So check out social warfare. I highly recommend it. Hopefully this has been helpful. If it is, please use the thumb button to give it a thumbs up and share it out. And if you do go ahead and purchase social warfare, please use the affiliate link that's located in the description. That allows me to continue doing reviews such as this, and it helps me prove to my wife that doing things like this on the internet actually generate money for our family and actually put the food on the table. Thanks so much. And if you do have questions, use the comment section. I'm very active on YouTube, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you do have openly, honestly, and hopefully you can determine if social warfare is right for you. Thanks so much for watching.